Thank you everyone for coming out tonight, or today. I really, really appreciate everyone being here, and he would have loved to see everyone here. So thank you. Hello everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Lucy Hawes. I'm the eldest daughter of Stephen Hawes and dad. As I've been growing up, music has always been a big part of my life. My dad had always had music playing throughout the house. It was his form of comfort. Of course, as I've grown up, I've been introduced to many forms of music, as you probably heard throughout today. However, there are two songs that I think will always have a special place in my heart, because both of them have made me feel like he will never leave my side, even in this moment. The first is called Beautiful Girl by INXS. This was his introductory song to try and get my sister and I into his type of music. And I will admit, I was doubtful at first. Now I can say my favorite songs are the ones he introduced me to, which are mostly Australian written. The second song is called Stand By Me. I think the title of the song provides an impactful message, and I will always remember my dad when I hear that phrase. Because that's what I know he'd always be there to do for me, even still as things have changed. One thing I really, really admire about my dad, even though I could list off, is the fact that he really wanted my sister and I to not only learn, but to understand things. It was important to him that we knew how privileged we were, and he wanted us to appreciate all walks of life, which I know, thanks to him. Traveling was a big thing in our family, and when we traveled, he liked to almost live as the locals live. He would always say how much he disliked resorts because he really wanted to embrace the culture that we were stepping foot into. That meant staying in nearby motels, going to learn about the cultures in museums, and trying all the new foods. I will admit that at times I didn't like this. Unfortunately, I did not have the same desire to go to multiple museums every day of the trip. That was my dad. He loved to learn, and he was always interested in new information and learning about the world. My dad has always been into everything. He was extremely smart, humorous, honest, respectful, and mostly athletic. I had always looked up to him, and still do, because of how much I admired him as a person. It was always very important to me to make him proud, so whenever he spoke, I listened. I've learned so many things from my dad through the ups and downs that we would have had. One of the first things he taught me to do was to have manners. He would never let me leave a restaurant, person, or anything without thanking them, and making sure that they knew they were appreciated. Helping people out was a huge characteristic for him. Doing little things for others to help them out is something I picked up from him, maybe even a little too much. Every morning I would make coffee for him so that he knew I cared, even though I could be annoying as I'm not a morning person. I'm extremely grateful for these skills he's helped me make a part of my life, and I wouldn't be who I am today and have the morals I have without him. I could go on and on regarding the many memories of my dad, but there's one that will stick with me that I think was worth sharing. And that's mostly because it was the happiest I'd seen him for a while. Of course, the reason for this was due to a good outcome of a hockey game. This happened really recently. It was this year in the Stanley Cup playoffs when the Avalanche were playing the Minnesota Wild, and it was a very important game. My dad took Maggie and I to a bar to watch the game, and it was not going well. We left at the second intermission and went home feeling down. When we got home, we turned on the game in the background while having regular conversation about school, summer, and what was to come. All of a sudden, the Avs had made a comeback and were headed to overtime. We were on the edge of our seats hoping for the best, and then we heard the buzzer from the TV announcing that the Avs were headed to the conference final. I remember how excited we all were, especially my dad. He started squealing like a little boy, and he just came straight to Maggie and I to give us hugs out of pure excitement. Unfortunately, the Avs did not do well from there, but this moment assures me that I will stay loyal to them forever and hold memories of hope, along with the memories of countless hockey games we went to as a family to express our support for the team and be with each other. I won't leave out that there were a lot of times I disagreed with the things my dad did, and there were times I got really frustrated with him, and sometimes I definitely think I took him for granted. However, I was always aware of the amazing and loving person he was, knowing that he would do anything for those he's cared about, especially me and my sister. He would comfort me when I felt alone, and for that reason, I know in my heart that